What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Track Talkers Season 2.
Round 17, the finale of Monster Energy Supercross, bro. What?
Let's go, boys. It was the final round of Supercross. Cooper Webb is the 450 SX champion, stamps his legacy in the history books.
Bro.
Okay, more championships, Supercross championships than Eli Tomac, right?
Yep. James Stewart.
What?
Yep.
Cooper Webb
Chad
is
Reed?
now above that category?
Yes.
He is that guy.
He stamped his legacy just with this championship. Getting to number 3 is a whole nother realm that you get put in. I think there's only 5 or 6 other riders to ever do that, getting more than 3 championships.
Yeah, it's truly unbelievable. But let's bring in our SMX insider to talk a little bit more about it. Michael Antonovich, welcome to the show, bro. Good to have you back.
How are we, boys? Do you have a fun weekend in Salt Lake City, Adam?
Bro, come on, dude. I had the best weekend. You kidding me? I got pictures taken by my boy Anton with the sickest line.
I saw you with the VIPs.
Come on, baby. Come on. But that's, you know what, though? I think we got to transition back, right? Cooper Webb is the man. We got to give, when somebody does something that's truly unbelievable, like Cooper Webb just did, you got to give him the kudos. Whether you like the guy or you don't like the guy and you're cheering for Chase Sexton or Eli Tomac or Jet Lawrence, we don't care who you're cheering for. When you see a guy get done what Cooper Webb has gotten done, it's truly an unbelievable feat. Like we were just talking about, more than James Stewart. Like, wrap your head around that. More than Chad Reed, more than Eli Tomac.
Yes.
More Supercross championships than Eli Tomac.
I know.
The guy that just passed Jet.
Yeah. He doesn't have the wins, but he has more championships. And that's like the whole thing about Cooper Webb, right? Is just the underrated bulldog that's going to be there at the end, be in the fight, and in the pressure situations, do everything right, and somehow does it time and time and time again, and keeps on proving themselves as maybe not a race winner, but a championship contender.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Anton.
Sorry to cut you off, Adam.
No, you're
sorry
good,
to cut
dude.
you off, but
I love it.
The things that are gonna really reinforce how monumental this is for him personally are the fact that, yes, he passed Eli on the champions win list with the 3-2, but he's also the oldest champion by just a couple days, 29 and 6 months and something like that. So add that one to it. So that's a feat in itself that will need to be explained. And Coop has been very aware and open about saying that he knows the window is closing at 29, nearing 30. He came to the SMX Media Days at Angel Stadium this year, back in December. This was right after his crash at the OzX Open. And it said, flat out told all of us, I know the window is closing. I know I can only give my life to this way so many more times. How many times will it keep happening? That is a big feat in itself to be the oldest champion. But then another thing to really add a lot of importance to this is the fact that he did it on a Yamaha. Doing those two almost back to back, 1921 with KTM, like he said, when he was in the program at Aldens and just knew the bike and everything was going that way, to come back to Yamaha on a team that he always thought he was going to come back to. Bobby Regan's like his, third grandpa at that point.
Yeah.
And a brand that really stuck behind him when his first 2 years, when it was factory Yamaha run in Cyprus and it was not going good, really almost torpedoed his career before it got going. To come back to this situation as a 2-time champion in the star team with everybody around him that he really, really likes. Like, that is a super team built around Cooper Webb in a lot of ways. And get that championship for that group again and for that brand. And on another bike brand in itself. Those are two things, age and bike, that set this championship apart than the other two.
Yeah, and some things that really stuck out to me on his press conference is what I didn't know, even I heard it in the broadcast, is Ricky Carmichael talking about his thumb injury that he re-tore his ligament in the beginning of December, where he hasn't got it fixed. And then as well with Addy bringing up the question of just the trials and tribulations of trying to win this championship and getting prepared in the offseason to do another championship and committing yourself to the path of the championship, because everybody knows, I mean, at that level, how much that takes. So him committing to that in the offseason, really having a heart-to-heart with his agent at the beach, and it was kind of seemed like he was 50-50 on the decision on how he said it in the press conference.
Like
and then,
literally like 50-50 if he was going to race this year.
Yeah, or he was going to retire.
Yeah, like he said in the press conference that he was running on the beach before the season with his agent, and they had a conversation. Are we going to get surgery and get my hand fixed? Or are we going to go out and race the Supercross season?
Yeah, and he decided to race the Supercross season with his injured thumb, and it played off in the biggest way possible, and he won the championship and got the job done.
Yeah.
What's unbelievable in itself of just being able to compete at that level, work through that injury, and still progress as a rider throughout the season and just get dialed in more and more. And it definitely seems like, I think it's overlooked sometimes. It's just the team and how the team works around you and what you need from the team. And I feel like everybody over at Star is, what's the word? Is like an orchestra over there with Cooper Webb, and they know exactly how everybody works and what Cooper Webb needs as far as like the pressure needs to be put on him.
Yeah.
He needs to be confronted about like the stuff he's doing wrong, and everybody's on the same page over there.
Yeah, the team manager said he was fat.
Yeah, he was just making exactly what Cooper Webb needed, and Cooper Webb takes it constructively, and he gets he pushes and just progress after that, and fucking won the championship.
Yeah,
like you don't need any more proven ground than that.
Yeah, like literally, like a guy like Cooper Webb, he said he sat down with his team manager at coffee, and he says, "You're fat and out of shape," and he like laughed and said, "You're right."
Yeah.
And he put his head down and worked.
Yep. And did everything right.
99.99% of people, if somebody were to say that, they would never talk to him again and they would hate him for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But that is what makes him a champion. That's why we're talking about Cooper Webb right now. That's why he has 3 Supercross championships and this legacy where he's stamped as better than James Stewart.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how to put it. He might not have been faster than James Stewart, but he's better than James Stewart.
Hey, in the words of Bill Belichick, dude, all we care about is championships.
I mean, how gnarly is that? That's Cooper Webb now.
I know.
And you cannot take that away from him.
Yeah, it's insane.
And that's not saying that James Stewart isn't a absolute phenom and one of the best that's ever done it, because we know on a good day.
And we're strictly talking about Supercross championships, okay?
Yes. Strictly talking about Supercross championships. But it's like, think about how legendary James Stewart and Chad Reed and all those guys.
And Eli Tomac.
And he's above it.
Yeah, I know.
He's above that now.
Yeah.
And Eli Tomac, there's a chance that he will never get that 3rd championship.
I know. And even though he was really close a couple years ago.
I guess he should have got that 3rd one.
He should have got that 3rd one, but still, you got to get it done. You got to race all the rounds. And I mean, in Villapoto's case, you don't need to race all the rounds. You just have to have enough points to win the championship by the final round.
Yeah. I mean, Anton, what do you have to add to what we just said? I mean, it's right now, it's just all about Cooper Webb.
Yeah.
You got to give the guy kudos where it's deserved, right?
Oh, yeah. And he's been, dude, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not lying. I'm not, because he did it last night. He's been my championship pick since the Paris Supercross last November.
Yeah.
Just from then, I told my chick, told a couple other people, I'm like, he's going to win it. Just watch. He will be in the fight. I thought it was going to be him and Jet going head to head. And, it turns out it's him and Chase. But just from that time, I was like, yeah, it's going to be him. And there's a lot of stuff about this third championship and the future of Cooper's career that I think is really interesting. So Casey Huntley is the agent, that he talked about running on the beach with. And me and Huntley are tight. Like, I've known Huntley for the entire time I've been doing this stuff. And through the year, Casey had expressed to me, like, watch what Cooper does after he gets this one done. Once he has that and he has that sense of accomplishment and relief of, like, I'm on this tier now, then he'll be really interesting to see what he does after that. Because now he has this free feeling of, like, yo, I did it. I did more than I ever thought I ever could do. Did it in all these different ways. Did it right when I thought I never could do it again. Like he said in the press conference last night, waking up at 3:00 in the morning, damn near in tears multiple times last night, explaining just how much he's thought about that. And
like he said,
I respect that. I respect that so much because, like, when something is just driving you to your breaking point like that, where you openly admit, like, how it makes you just question everything about yourself. You really want it.
Well, and
to get it done like that, I'm interested to see what. I know the next question will be like outdoors, and he snuffed that shit out immediately last night.
I loved it.
As far as, like, what the question is going to be and all that, because he just wants to enjoy this moment. But I'm really excited to see what does the fourth quarter of this year look like, and then what does 26 look like? Because I know he's already on pace to go do Paris Supercross again. He'll keep going and doing those races and get tuned up and be ready to go. But then if he doesn't have to worry about what's my legacy now, what's this, 30 plus main event wins, 3 titles, 6 championships overall when you combine his 250 stuff, he's set. It's good. So now you get to watch a real, Hall of Famer run out his golden years of his career and enjoy them, not be worried about what legacy do I got to keep stamping. So you guys have mentioned Eli over and over about, Eli's not having 3 titles, only having 2. To think back a couple years, and he would openly say it, just how frustrated he would get with everybody questioning when he was going to get his first one at Kawasaki and all of the stress that got put into that, and then getting, the second one. Very interesting just to see how this is all going to go for these guys in the last 3 years of their career and the ways that they're going to split, because Star's Cooper's team now, and Eli's got to go find a place to go.
Oh, 100%. And Star's set. Like, Star's in a very Star's in a very good spot for the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Like,
without a doubt.
Without a question.
Yeah, they're
You know what I'm saying? But going back to Cooper Webb, what I really liked what he kind of seemed, and he shined some light on in the press conference after the race was done, was just like, he like openly admitted like how much he thought about the championship and like how much it takes and what could go wrong. And like, he was open to, thinking about those things. What's like so amazing to me, because like there's a kind of human factor when you look into that, because like thinking about something and obsessing over it, because every athlete, if you're at this level, you're obsessing over it, like no matter what, because it's all you want.
Like literally freakishly
you're obsessed of it. Like you dream about it, you think about it before you go to bed, you wake up about thinking about it, you in the gym thinking about it, about how much you want it, and then being able to just go out there, control your emotions, and get the job done, and being able to perform like that and get the start he absolutely needed on the final main event of the season to make it easier on himself. Like, huge props of just being able to get that done and to execute and put those emotions aside and being able to do that with, like, it seems like he can switch that on and off. And that's so awesome to see, because that control can get you a long ways of controlling your emotions and being able to put them aside, flip that emotional switch off and go do your job, get it done, and then flip it back on when the main event, is done.
Yeah, but I think you made a good point. It's not even like the, what do you want to, flipping them on and off. It's how good he is at actually controlling.
Well, you got to push them aside. You like, it's just like a kicker in like the high pressure situations.
You could see the emotion on his face.
Yes.
All the time. But it was how he had the emotion, but also at the same time took that emotion, controlled it, and used it to his benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's using it. He's just, has figured out a way to be himself still and just do what he needs to do at the moment and not let anything else affect him, including his emotions on top of it.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Anton?
Ty bringing up the fact that in both races, really, he went out there with a point to prove, trying to get the start in both of them. Fifth place was all he needed last night. It was still a lot, and I'll admit there was certain points in the main event where I'm like, oh shit, he might not get this done. Like when the Malcolm situation is really pressing him, and you're wondering how much of a teammate is Malcolm going to be? Is Malcolm going to ride that brand next year, like on a Husky? Is he? What's all happening here right now? And then really good rides by Shane and Joey. Like there was a point in that first 10 minutes where I was just like, fuck, he might get sixth. Like, not even by his own, not even by anything, but like there are 5 fast dudes right now that might pass him just straight up on speed tonight.
Yeah.
But in the heat race and in the main event, the fact that he went out and went for it in both of them to show Chase, they're both in the same heat race together, gate pick 1 and 2, Chase before him, roll down the tunnel together, all of that. And to still just be like, I'm going to go for this race win. I'm not just coming out here to just do the work and get fifth, hopefully. Like, I got to go at least, like you said, Ty, put myself in the best position.
Yeah.
Try to do something. Maybe Chase gets a 6th place start, and then I got to do what I do from there. And then when Chase came up to do the pass, he's like, all right, dude, let it. There you go. Take it. If that's what you need to do, go ahead. I'm not even going to give you the chance to do anything to
just like
screw this up.
Bro, because like everybody knows in this room, it doesn't matter what you do, if it's winning a championship, getting the job done, or getting your project done, whatever that is, like your final moments of like the biggest deal of your life, it usually happens where it's the hard way you have to do it. But Cooper Webb is, I don't know, just like has the mental capacity to, at the final moment, make it easy on himself. Where it's usually, it's flipped. You make it harder on yourself.
Yeah, but with you saying that as well, he's also making it easy on himself because he's executing at the hardest things to do.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like
under the most amount of pressure, he gets the start.
Yeah.
When he's in the most chaotic situation of being out front, Chase Sexton's behind him, is he going to freaking T-bone me up? He makes a mistake kind of in the rhythm, and then he lets him go by in the rhythm where Chase literally can't do anything.
Yeah. What are you supposed to cross jump him?
You literally can't.
Yeah.
And then at that point, Chase would look like a total dipshit if he tried to slow down and then like block pass and take him out. Like there's nothing, you just took away anything that Chase could do.
Literally.
There was no opportunity.
Yes. The Lights kids need to watch Cooper Webb.
They hang out with him every day.
I'm talking about like Seth Hammaker, Cole Davies. Like they just need to, like, if you're an up and coming rider, you need to watch Cooper Webb's day and see how he handled everything and learn from him.
Hey, so on that point, and again, Ty, dude, you tee stuff up so good. Like things I've been thinking, and you say it, and I'm just like, okay, there's my end for it.
Yeah.
James's legacy will be remembered for how he reinvented riding technique and the scrub and just all of that.
Yep.
Ricky was just the nose to the grindstone work ethic and just gotta get it done. You look at Chad on his precision, all the things that I'm saying, you can look at where every guy has the quality of, hey, this is what also, in addition to the record book, makes them special. Like this is where they refine the sport. I don't think we've really talked about how Coop has redone that yet. He, get that 3rd championship and then talk about what really makes him so great. But it's exactly what you just said, Ty. It is the racecraft that he has, knowing the situation, always gaming it, very openly doing it. It's not like it's a secret. Like if you watch his races enough, you know that he's controlling the situation. We just talked about it a couple weeks ago, on the countdown clock. But then also doing the work, like you said earlier, because he's proven 2 different training programs work, Albin's and Swanee's. And a lot of different riding techniques that when he was on the Swanee program years ago, because I was watching it happen when they would ride the California practice tracks all the time. No clutch motos, no rear brake motos, no this, no that. That every kid at every training facility is probably doing right now that you didn't know Swanee's guys were doing at Paula 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the shit that's really going to, when you have to think about Coop's career, that's his Bubba Scrub. That's his Ricky's work ethic. That's his chat through the whoops. That's his stuff, is racecraft and work.
Yes.
You know, and I wouldn't even say, honestly, I wouldn't even say work. You know, I would just say that if like Cooper Webb's superpower is dealing with pressure and the way he like puts that pressure back into the world, the way he like takes that in and pushes it out. You know, that's like what Cooper Webb will forever be known for. Like when you talk about Cooper Webb, he's just that guy that has the dog in him. Yes. You know, I don't know any other way to say it. It's like Cooper Webb is one of those guys, like we talked about it on the show. If you were in a fight for a championship that came down to the last 3 races, out of every legendary guy there ever was, the last guy you would want to be against is Cooper Webb.
100%. Yes.
Out of Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, fucking Rick Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan
Villapoto. All those guys, James Stewart, everybody. Cooper Webb is the last guy you want to be in a dogfight with going down to the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, like a head-to-head battle on like what we were at.
Yes.
Because like, I mean, just to, you know, reiterate what I said, just making it easy, like, you know, looking back on the round that he had to win to make sure if Chase won out, he could still get 5th. You know what I'm saying? Like those moments, you know, might seem small, but they're huge in the championship.
He just makes them seem small.
Yeah, he makes them seem small, but he knows himself. He has moments that he's like, by anything means necessary, I have to win or I have to do this.
Yeah. And it's funny you bring that up because it really just helped me think even more clearly. Whenever anybody thinks something is supposed to be very eventful, Cooper Webb is the best at making it the most uneventful thing you've ever seen. Just like the fucking finale, right? Yeah. It's the last round. It's down to 9 points, right?
Yeah, he has to get.
He has to get top
5th or
6.
better.
He has to get 5th or better. There's 5 guys that are absolutely 4th. Ripping, and he goes out.
2 points.
He fucking whole shots the heat race. Yeah. Then he goes out and whole shots the main.
It gets passed in the rhythm section on a double, not a corner. No
contact. Then lets those 2 go by and rides around like nonchalantly as fuck and gets 4th.
Yeah. And then has a little scuffle with his teammate and Malcolm Stewart, doubles the triple, and then he's like, oh, I have a 7-second gap with a minute and 50 seconds left. Cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, let me
finish this off.
Yeah, we're good.
That's Cooper Webb. When all the fucking moment and the pressure is there and everybody thinks it's going to be this way big deal, Cooper Webb just comes in and makes it like, bro, this was nothing, dude. Look at see how I just did that? It's easy. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Truly unbelievable.
One thing that I'd like to give just a little bit of recognition, and I know both you guys will agree on this, is a lot of props need to go, like obviously the whole star team, but mechanics Alec Campbell deserves some credit because Peanut kept that bike dialed all year. No mechanical issues, no real anything. And he's the practice bike guy too. So he's down there doing the work with Coop at the farm through the week too. Building the bike. As soon as they get back from their build day on, Monday when they fly back home, they're right back into the routine on Tuesday, and then it's out again to get back to the races. Peanut's a very close friend of mine, and I've been watching him go through this for years now. So to see him get another one. But the level of dedication that he has and the care that he puts into that stuff is huge.
Oh, and, I guarantee it's just as much as Coop.
Well, and too, just like...
Oh, yeah, just as many sleepless nights about it.
Well, speaking of dedication, too, we got to give also props to the team as well. You don't see any other team fucking moving to Florida, buying a whole facility and, shop everything is in one central location.
Mm-hmm. And I would say, if if Jade had won the championship with Chase, I would have a lot of great things to say about Jade too, because
Yes.
they went through a lot with that motorcycle in the span of 19 weeks.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That big, whatever it was coming off the radiator to the shock. Okay, now it's not there. The usual suspension setting changes that you'll go through here, back and forth, whatever.
Yeah.
The parts that they add on at the last little bit, all of those things that, Jade's working through too, as part of KTM and working with his guy and talking to Kier to see what's happening at the practice track in Florida and how things are going. A lot of credit to Jade too, because he's been with Chase off and on, back when he first started with Chase at Geico Honda, and then to get it back now. That's a big relationship. Would have been great to see them both get a championship together like that. Yeah. But good for both of them. The mechanics definitely deserve some shine for what they did, because neither guy had a mechanical issue that I can think of all year. And that's mud races, all of it.
Yeah. Pretty sick. Pretty unbelievable. Great job, Peanut. Yeah, I mean, was definitely twisted, right? With a little twisted T. You think they had a twisted T after the burnout or what?
Oh, I would assume so.
I guarantee it. But
speaking of the burnout, I thought it was pretty cool. All three of them were doing a burnout together.
That was sick. Tom Vialle even joined in.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. But I think what we have to do, I think we hit Coop good, but we have to talk about something that Cooper Webb doesn't give a shit about. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny in the press conference. But that's outdoor. What's the probability we see Cooper Webb line up?
0%.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's probably in the next couple of weeks. If he's gonna get his thumb fixed, what I would assume so, because he's gonna race for a couple more years, and this would be the perfect time to go get it fixed, is, probably in the next week or two, we'll see a little, maybe see a press release of, oh, I'm going to go get my ligament fixed, going to become 100%. I'll see you guys at SMX.
I don't think it's 0%, but I would say it's 50-50. I would say it's a 50-50 shot that we see him outdoor.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Especially after the comment that he said, I don't give a shit about outdoor. Like,
I mean, why would you, though, at that point?
No, I wouldn't either, bro. That would be the first thing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd be going and partying, burn out my bike, fuck, you know what I mean?
Bro.
Have a great time.
Yeah.
Go hang out with my wife.
Enjoy my fucking bonus.
Yeah,
and
like my
the
$1 million
night of
bonus.
just winning the championship. I just grinded it out for 3.5 months.
I had zero personality. I was pissed off at everybody for the last 3-4 months minimum.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
No beer in a year.
Yeah, no alcohol in a year, he said. Not a sip of alcohol in a year. For Cooper Webb, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, for him, he's probably like, fuck outdoor right now. I don't care if I show up. I care about the SMX championship. Bobby, I just got you the 450, the most prestigious championship in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Wouldn't you guys say so?
Yes, 100%.
If there's one championship you ever want to win,
it's the Supercross
it's the Supercross 450 championship in America.
Yep.
That is the biggest championship in motorcycles, period.
Yeah. As you know, Paris and all that overseas stuff, price just went up.
Price just went up, dog. So now we're getting ready. Now my eyesight would be on SMX. Get my shit fixed. Get ready. Do the last couple rounds of outdoor.
You ain't talking like it's 50-50.
I mean, but it's probably not. Honestly, it's probably less than 50-50. But
bro,
we could be wrong.
I'm going to give you a scenario right now. What day? I mean, we're Sunday right now. So Monday or Tuesday.
Next week, Monday.
No, tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, he's going to go out for a 30-minute moto. And he's be like, oh, dude, he's going to be feeling probably pretty good.
My thumb's jacked, bro. Can't handle the kickers.
Yeah, on Tuesday or Wednesday, oh, dude, my thumb's feeling sore. I don't know if I can do a whole summer of this. I think I need to go get it fixed.
They're going to, Casey Huntley and him are going to go have another run on the beach, and they're going to decide the other way this time. Oh, that's messed up.
I mean, but realistically though, let's just say business decision. Let's just go strictly business decision. Money for Cooper Webb's buck. Go get fixed right now. Skip out on outdoor and make sure you're 100% ready for SMX. Make another mill or whatever you want to say if you're 100% for SMX, and then go to overseas races where you're going to make, another few 100,000 too.
Or what I just thought of, which is, I think, a really viable statement. Or are you thinking business decision wise? Cooper Webb said multiple times, like Anton said, I don't know how many years I have left at this level. So does he go race the first 3 outdoor? If he doesn't do well, then he pulls the trigger and goes.
Nope.
No.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
No.
Because
I think that's what it is.
I do too.
No, because Cooper Webb's a finisher, and if he starts something, he's going to finish it.
I don't know. I think he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out on the outdoor.
Yeah, no
deal.
way.
Look, I'll say this. There has been no leak at all from anyone that I talk to about like, oh yeah, no, the bus ain't going to Paula. I'm going on vacation the first week of, or the third week of May.
Yeah, but he wouldn't talk about that until he won the championship.
No, I mean anybody around him. You know what I mean? Like typically you have a leak. Like somebody would be like, oh, like he's my. There's none of that. Like
but
everything that I've heard 4 weeks has been, we have a summer to go do. And what Adam said about like, he said in the press conference last night when his thumb was fucked up all last year, he just lived in that pain. And what I wanted to ask you, Ty, because I haven't gotten the chance to watch the race, I'm really interested to hear what they say about this injury now. Because like he mentioned 2 injuries last night, and we know there was 2 injuries at least from Paris Supercross and out, because he had the big stack up at the AUS-X Open and watched him stand up and hurt his thumb. I remember I saw some stuff some people said on the internet this week about when he came back to Unadilla last year when his thumb was messed up and thought he hurt it again. He almost ran me over when he pulled off the track. Like I watched him hurt it, and then he veered to the left and almost ran me down to get off the track, to go back to the pit and then leave. And he said how much pain he had been in. And then it seemed like it was better because like he took that time off and then came back to Charlotte, and it wasn't great, but it was better. And then crashes at AUS-X, but then there was another crash sometime in the offseason. And if you guys remember,
Ricky Carmichael,
through the year, was it that crash? Like, was it the one that he couldn't talk about because the, like, if I say it, Yamaha's going to find me thing, or was it the AUS-X crash? Like, what one did this thumb injury come back from? That's what I'm curious to hear about.
So Ricky Carmichael said that there was a crash and an injury in early December. Where he said
that would be the big practice crash.
Yeah, where he said he re-tore his thumb. That's what Ricky said on the broadcast while they were racing.
Yeah,
and he said it seemed like he's been waiting to deliver that for a while.
Well, and that's been true. Like the thumb's definitely been an issue all year.
Yeah, because
I don't know if it's to the point that it was last year.
Yeah, it's for sure though. We know there was a minimum of 2 big accidents, for sure.
Well, we know the AUS-X one was a big one, and then the December one, he only, like Ricky Carmichael said, he only rode 2 times before Anaheim won.
There you go. So it had to be the beginning of December was the last one.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like, if I'm Cooper Webb, bro, I just won the championship. Let me go get fixed right, stop on a high note, and be 100% for SMX.
I don't know. If it was me,
and do those last nationals, like he was trying to do last year,
and get warmed back up.
Yeah, but if it was me, and I'm saying that I know I don't have that many more years, and I just won the championship, I would at least go out, try to fight Jet and those guys for the first couple rounds. And if I'm in the championship, fuck it, I'm gonna grit out this year. But if I'm not, and I'm like out of it and my thumb just can't handle the 30-minute moto,
but so
I would just be like, nope, I'm going to get it fixed. I'll be back by the end of outdoor anyways.
You're saying it like he has 1 year left. I'm saying that Cooper Webb probably has 3 years left. If you have 3 years left, why not get it fixed right now? Make sure you're 100%. Because, dude, if you don't get it fixed right now and you go into outdoor, then it's going into SMX, then it's going into your Europe rounds, then it's going into boot camp, everything.
Dude, you know what? now that you really say this, like now that you really point out that all of this about the thumb, if you watch him after he even does a hot lap or after he does like a race, watch one of his hands come off immediately. And he always carries his hand in his arm the same way after he does a hot lap in practice. So this thing might really be like hurting him a bit.
I'm saying we'll know in a couple weeks. These next couple of weeks, there might be a press conference or not a press release.
Yeah.
But if it hurts him that bad and it's still bothering him, I think he should just say, F it. Go get it fixed right now. You have this is the time to do it.
Yep. Well, this is
your biggest window to get healthy and to come back and then still have a few races left right before SMX.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't mess up your off season, your Europe rounds, your boot camp, anything, and it doesn't mess up the following year.
Yeah. Well, I think we nailed that home. Only time will tell. We'll find out if Cooper Webb shows up at Paula. But let's move on to the dirt trick segment of the show. 250 championship. Bros, was it not the gnarliest, epicest thing you've ever seen? I love showdowns, bro. Showdowns are the best thing that has ever happened as a fan in history of Supercross.
Okay, before we get super hyped about it,
dude,
I was super bummed. So, unfortunately,
don't bum me out.
No. I'm not bumming you about. The main event was phenomenal. Okay,
yeah,
but I had a golf tournament to go to, so I was fucking golfing while the race was happening. I didn't want to watch it on my phone. I wanted to watch the whole thing as a whole, like I was watching it live.
Yeah,
I get back to my house. I watch the replay, bro. Guess where the replay starts?
RJ Hampshire taking out Seth Hammaker.
No, bro. It starts on like 450 heat 1. I missed all the 250 heat races in the pre-show.
No way.
Dude, I heard about this.
Bro,
replay.
The replay on Peacock starts from 450 heat 1, no 250 heat 1, no 250 heat 2, no Cole Davies, Jordan Smith crash, nothing.
And you know where you can see this? You know where you can see this footage, Ty?
YouTube.
The Telemundo Deportes YouTube channel.
I know. I had to search YouTube for the heat races.
Wow.
This is hours after the race was done. I wanted to watch the whole thing. I go back to my house and I'm like,
Telemundo!
I start the replay and I like go get something to eat and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm on 450s already? Like what? And then I go to rewind and it just somehow just starts on 450 heat 1.
Bro, can we give a shout out to the Telemundo announcer guy? That dude's the GOAT, bro. He needs to win a Grammy or something for his fucking performances.
I mean, he does a very good job.
Dude, I don't know if he does a good job, but he brings the hype. Like, if I'm watching that, I don't even need to
understand
what he's saying, and I'm in the race, dude.
That was great, Adam. I don't even know if he does a good job. That was fucking great.
Okay, but let's get into it. 250 championship. Okay, so Haiden Deegan, the boss with the most sauce. What's up, baby? 12-second lead. You already know who it is. Y'all can talk shit, whatever you want to say, but Deegan's the best. Tom Vialle's in second. He fades a little. No, yeah, Tom Vialle's in second. He fades a little bit. Juju gets right behind him. Juju gets past him. Then, who else gets past him? Hammaker catches up Tom Vialle. Then Seth Hammaker
passes Tom Vialle.
Tom passes Tom Vialle. Tom Vialle starts to fade. Then
RJ Hampshire passes Vialle.
No, Seth Hammaker gets into it.
Oh, with Juju.
And Juju kind of, dude, there was team tactics. Juju definitely slowed up, right? We can all agree on this. Correct or not?
I would say Juju was very aggressive towards Seth Hammaker.
And slowed up a little bit to block him just a little.
Well, that triple maneuver was kind of a little feisty.
Which triple maneuver?
Where Seth passed him in
after the triple.
Before the triple, and then Juju
ran it in on the next couple laps.
Yes.
I mean, dude, I'm not, honestly, that pass wasn't as bad to me as him kind of checking up and slowing down.
I didn't really see the checkup and slowing down. I thought Seth Hammaker was just ripping.
Seth Hammaker was on the gas. But with all that being said, Anton, do you think that even, like, do you think what Juju did is that even disrespectful at all? I don't.
No.
What do you think, Anton?
No, I don't. I when it started, when all that started going on, and Hayden's just checking out. Which, by the way, watching him ride yesterday, like I might have to subscribe to the YouTube channel now because I've never seen somebody have more fun on a motorcycle. Watching him bounce around like that was unbelievable. Just he made that shit look like a BMX pump track.
He's a cheat code. Dude.
When Julian started catching Tom, I was like, okay, here he comes. Here comes Justin Cooper, tail gunner, just going to do the block. And then I was like, oh, well, you still got 11 minutes. You can't block for that long.
Yeah.
And then he just dropped him. I was like, oh, okay, like that was interesting. But then at the same time, Seth coming as fast as he was coming to catch up to there. Nobody was paying attention to RJ way back in like ninth in those first few laps to see all that coming. So even on
dog.
That is a big talking point that needs to go. Like RJ came from way back.
Dude, well,
and I was hitting photographers on the floor. Like, you need to watch him. Here he comes, because he is making a bunch of moves. And that was what was really starting to build, oh my God, the real tension to that thing. Because after Seth got Tom, it was over. I was like, all right, Seth got the championship. Here comes RJ. RJ's going to get Tom. And then that's it. And maybe we'll get something else. But for Tom at that point, I was like, well, dude, Seth got you. It's over.
Yeah, I thought Seth was starting to tighten up a little bit after he got a gap. Like he started almost thinking about the championship.
Without a doubt.
Not riding forward.
Without a doubt.
Like he should have been trying to
past, it was like arm pump or something hit.
Yeah, because he should have been focusing on trying to catch Deegan just for his mental capacity.
Yes.
Thank you, because that makes sense. Because I rewatched the race last night. I used the Telemundo Deportes YouTube channel to watch it in my hotel room. And I couldn't understand, like, because I didn't have the sound on. I couldn't understand how Seth was losing time like that. Like I'm watching, but even as the thing is on TV, I'm like, well, okay. I watched it again a couple hours ago, and I'm trying to see now, like, was he getting caught? Was he doing something? Like, what was happening to make him lose up that much time? I think it was really RJ just going that fast.
Dude, RJ
was ripping. Like, no doubt. Like, RJ was ripping.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to that's who RJ is, and that's how he is. Dude, he's just made that way. It's in his DNA. I mean, the kid had the gnarliest crash in the heat, right? Should have been out of the championship, then doesn't make the main, comes from the outside, wins the LCQ, then lines up on the outside in the East-West showdown with the best guys, then somehow comes out like 12th and passes his way up to Seth Hammaker.
Yeah. All right, well then, I mean, the elephant in the room, what do we think about the RJ Hampshire, Seth Hammaker pass that both of them go down in?
Dude, I hate to put him in this category, but
I saw a comment on YouTube.
Okay.
Where
I hate to put him in this category.
That guy was like, I put RJ Hampshire a notch above Vince Freeze now.
I hate to put him in this category, but you know when Vince Freeze is on the track, you kind of know what he's going to do. And unfortunately, I think for the same exact reason that RJ took out Seth Hammaker is also the same exact reason that RJ can go from wadding up and almost dying in the heat to being in a position to almost winning the championship in the main, is because he has so much heart and so much will to win. He shuts his brain off and just gives 100,000,000,000%. And he just goes red, dude. And I think that's what happened. RJ went red in that main event because he knew he had to. And he just did it. Wreck-It Rick came out, bro. Right? Yes or no?
I mean, yes, Wreck-It Rick definitely came out. He definitely wrote it in hard and deep.
I will say this. This is what is kind of tricky about this pass, and both of you guys, I want you to chime in on my analysis. So what was really hard about that corner is it was an open corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch that corner, something I know as a professional, and so do you, is there wasn't a straight line into the corner, right?
Yeah.
So if you fucking wicked it too much and you were coming in a little too hot, you can't really slow down because you're on the edge of the tire and you're drifting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit the brakes too much or you overwicked it going into the corner, you can't slow down enough because you're not going straight. Like you can't overbrake in that certain scenario. And we've seen multiple times that day where people were blowing that corner, like literally in qualifying. I saw two guys come into that corner and just go straight over the berm, you know, from going too fast into the last corner.
Yeah.
And then we saw multiple times where guys came into that corner and just were a little too high because they went too hot and their rear wheel slid out before the corner.
Yeah.
So I think there was a little bit of that going on too, where RJ knew he needed more speed coming into that corner to get Seth, but then last second, he knew that he had too much, maybe tried to overbrake, and because he was sliding pitched coming in that corner, he couldn't slow down enough to not hit.
Are you
Seth
talking about
Hammaker.
Seth or RJ?
RJ. RJ couldn't slow down enough to not hit Hammaker as hard as he wanted to because they came out of that corner. RJ was already committed to that pass.
RJ came in way too hot.
Yes, and I think he didn't realize that until it was too late, and because he was sliding, he couldn't put on the brakes as hard as he wanted to.
I think,
so the pass was worse.
Yes, 100%. Because I think if Seth Hammaker anticipated RJ coming up the inside and braked, RJ would have been at the top of the berm and wicked his rear wheel over the top of the berm just to try to even make that corner.
Yes. He would have barely made the corner if he would have even made the corner.
Yes. If Seth Hammaker wasn't there.
And what happens in this situation for all you fans, and I've done this too, is instead of thinking about the corner in that situation,
you're literally just thinking about beating the guy next to you.
Yes. And then all of a sudden,
you're not worried about your braking point. You're not worried about where the corner's at.
Yes.
You are solely focused on the guy left of you and just trying to get in front of his handlebar.
And you know what it takes to get in front of that handlebar. And then after you've done it, then you take in what's in front of you.
Then you assess the situation and try to pull it off.
And try to pull it off.
Yes.
And
that's exactly what happened.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Rick was thinking more about the pass than he was about that corner. And then that corner also slid where he couldn't get the brakes. You're sliding. You can't get any braking power anyways. And just wham, hit him.
Yeah. Because I don't even think he hit him that hard because they were kind of coming in parallel.
Yeah, it was just
RJ just went in so deep, Seth went in deep, and you can't turn into a Husqvarna 250F.
Not only that, but you're also both sliding. So as soon as they even touched a little bit, they're going bikes straight. Just went, just slipped out from under them.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
it's RJ's fault.
It's RJ's fault, and he could have thought about maybe braking too, and like not wicked it, and but RJ was clearly committed to that pass when he was in the whoop section.
Yes.
He was
3
like
corners before. He knew exactly what he was going to do.
Maybe out of that rhythm.
He was going to pin it so hard and did whatever he had to do to make sure his front wheel was in front of Seth Hammaker's bike.
How's that sound, Mike?
No, that sounds about right. My little brother and I talked about it today, and I think even in just like the chaos of the situation, a lot of people still can't understand Julian botching that rhythm section, Seth and RJ both getting him, that nullifying 2 more points added to even more chaos of like, well, how many points is there now? And this, and this, which makes the takeout even more like, what? Because the spot that you needed, like if Julian was still there, the whole thing just changed in the matter of 36 seconds, and then all of it, just all of it, even the fact of like, do you double the finish line when you pick your bike back up or not? Did that cost you another second? They picked their bikes up and almost ran right into Tom.
No, they did.
Did you see that on the replay?
They did. RJ's front wheel did tap Tom's rear wheel when he got
And then Seth Hammaker doubled over RJ Hampshire.
He knew what he had to do. He knew the assignment, bro.
I was so hoping Seth was going to just full
Dude,
send
he did
and
it.
catch.
He was gonna do it if he didn't slide out in the corner before the whoops. He was gonna come
Yeah,
out.
he said he lost his drive in the whoops.
Yes, he literally, bro, he came out after that quad rhythm section and he fucking twisted the throttle all the way and the rear tire just went and he lost all his drive. I mean, Seth was gonna fucking bonsai that shit, dude.
Bro, I would have fucking bonsai'd it, try to go for the quad into the fucking
And then just
corner,
into the last corner, whatever.
Oh my
it took.
God, I would have been fourth gear tapped and just T-bone the shit out of Vialle, dog. I don't care if it was his fucking rear wheel knobby, his rear fender. I don't care if I would have just bumped him right in his rear wheel. I would have hit him something to disrupt his corner.
Dude, and you know what I love? This is what I love.
What?
Is like last week we were talking, everybody was like, oh, the Deegan Davies pass was so bad. Like that is nothing compared to what would have happened between Tom and Seth and what happened between RJ and Seth Hammaker.
Yes.
Hey, Adam, where were you at when that happened? Like, where were you watching from?
In the press box, and I literally stood up in the press box and yelled as loud as I fucking could. Like the press box just went off, dude. Like I'm not kidding. The pen in my hand flew and I stood up and was like, oh, like it was insane, the electricity. And it felt like it took 20 years for Seth and RJ to get up. And everybody was like just looking at Tom and they're like, Tom's coming. He could do it. Tom's coming. And it just felt like an eternity for those guys to get up.
Yeah.
It was wild, dude.
So I'm shooting. I'm in the far rhythm lane. If you watch the replay, you can see me on the far rhythm when they do that little step over after the triple.
Yep.
And I have my video camera and I'm looking through the viewfinder and I'm just tracking them all the way around lane through lane. I have it on footage as they hit. And when I like stop the recording, there's nobody standing around me. So there's no flagger, no other media guy, nobody. And I'm just watching this, just screaming to myself, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Because what else do you do? Like, what else
Literally,
do you do?
there's nothing else.
A whole lap. I walked around the track for a whole lap. Like, what the fuck just happened? And I'll have to ask somebody this because you weren't there. But I was in the press box when Zach got Joey in Vegas. And like, same thing, electricity, like never been in a room that felt like that.
No.
You know, in all the years that I've been to the races, and I'm sure it felt that way. Because when you see something that unbelievable, like you know what's coming because it's a showdown. But like to actually see it happen and know what's on the line, and then to see the two characters that it was with RJ and Seth, Joey and Zach back in the day, like all of that is unreal.
Yeah.
The one thing I have to be that I'm curious about on this one compared to the Zach
How
Joey
funny is it that it was a Husky and a Cowie again?
Again.
Is that even more weird?
That is a little bit weird.
That's really weird. I didn't even think about that. Everybody, like my wife was fucking bawling. There were people crying everywhere when Zach won that championship because it was just like this feel good moment. I don't think anybody cried about Tom winning that championship. I think Tom might have even been crying about, oh, fuck, I accidentally just won that championship. Yikes.
Well, that is a perfect segue into our next segment brought to you by Stan Benson Racing. You can get ETS fuel and the new Pirelli tires that are coming out at Stan Benson Racing out of the Bakersfield area. They'll be at the Stadium GP event that I'll be announcing in Reno, which is really cool. It'll be this weekend coming up. That's awesome. But Stan Benson Racing, anything you guys need at the track or in the Bakersfield area at all, go pick it up. But yeah, I mean, I think the awkwardness of what the energy was in the stadium of everybody knowing that, oh shit, Tom, guess what, buddy? Congrats. But now you got to move to the 450. And
I thought this, I'm so pissed off at myself for not knowing this and not like checking up with Pelletier, but I believe he has to go 450 next year.
No, he does. He does. If he didn't win, he didn't have to. But since he won, he has to move up.
So you're saying the only way a person's going to move up is if he wins 2 championships.
Or the amount of years that you've been in the class and they haven't been in enough years. Supposedly is what I've been told now.
All right. So he has to.
Now that he won that championship, he's out.
Yeah, even for next year.
Yes.
Like
Supercross next year, he has to ride a 450 if he wants to ride Supercross. Or he can skip Supercross and wait and go outdoor.
Or just move back to MXGP and go
race. Go MXGP and go race.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he's doing. I don't think he wants to do that.
No, I don't think he wants to do that either.
I mean, I don't.
Let's put
it
this way: if I'm KTM, am I signing Tomac or am I signing Tom?
Yeah. And if you're Cali, are you going to sign Chase Sexton or Tom Vialle? Or if you're HEP, are you going to sign Jason Anderson or Tom Vialle? Or if you're Club MX, are you going to sign Jason Anderson or Tom Vialle? Honda's
or
already,
Barsha.
Yeah, or Barsha.
Or Mookie.
Or Mookie.
I mean, Mookie's the first one I'm probably looking at, right?
Yeah, after Chase. Well, so, I mean, priority list would be Chase, Eli, Mookie, Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson.
Say that again.
Justin Barsha.
I think Mookie's off the table.
Oh, okay. So he's already.
That's not what I heard. Where'd you hear Mookie's off the table? Did you hear that last night?
I heard it yesterday morning. Yeah.
Oh, well then, okay. Then
and then
you
AP
have newer news.
And then AP extended his contract. That's what
we know
that.
We know that.
So he's
but
locked
AP's
in.
Way better than Tom Vialle is going to do.
Just let's
indoor.
Yes, I don't want to jump off of Tom Vialle right now. But what happened to AP?
Dude, he wasn't cutting the mustard,
bro. He was worried about messing up the championship or something, mess up the rhythm, and then he was back into 10th or 11th, and then was making his way back up.
Dude, he didn't have qualifying times all day. I mean, yeah, but granted, they were really close.
The heat race, he was ripping with Mookie.
Yeah. Yep.
I just don't know if you heard something at the races or not.
Not that I know of.
But dude, so what? Tom Vialle, so KTM next year is going to be what, 3 450s like they did?
No, dude. Anton, I want you to talk to us about what you talked about with me on the phone about KTM in general right now. I mean, we're trying not to go under at the moment. And you think we're signing 3 450s?
Oh, really?
So, okay. So, yeah, glad you brought this up, Adam, because as I drove down to the airport today, I was thinking about this. KTM has until the end of the month, KTM Corporate, the people that make the motorcycles, PR Mobility Group that owns the thing. They have until May 23rd to come up with the $600 million to pay the 30% of what is owed to the people they owe money to. There's been a lot of back and forth in the last 2 weeks, even still, about how this is going. Production is shut down again. There are no new bikes being made. It's not going to get turned back on again until August at the earliest. The whole company strategy has changed right now. So a lot of stuff is hanging in the balance on just you coming up with $600 million to scratch this number. KTM's racing program, depending on what level you talk to, depending on who you talk to and what level it is separated into either one group that's run out of Switzerland, or there's the KTM Factory Racing, which is part of the umbrella group. And then there's KTM North America and their racing department too. So there are separate entities through all of this stuff. However, in the last few months, KTM as a whole has had to pay out a lot of money in championship bonuses and win bonuses. As has been discussed in the last few weeks, a win bonus for a 450 race is about $100,000 plus. Chase got a couple. AP got one. There's some podium bonuses that are in there too. You got Tom's win bonuses and podium bonuses. And then you have the Husky guys that are also within there that you got to pay out. But just on the KTM number alone, paying out a lot of money right now in that. Everybody that I've talked to as far as racing stuff at the start of the year, when all the questions of how can KTM go racing if they have these problems and nothing has been fixed, we're talking January time, everybody, especially within North America, told me North American racing interests are protected because the racing money is always accounted for through this has to happen because it's a marketing exploit. This is how you sell the bikes that you make. But we also have all these sponsors that kick in a lot of money. How much money you got? How much money is there to sign all of those things? Plus when the company has the problems that they have. Because when the company was getting laid out for its restructure to even have the conversations with the banks back in November and December, the original outline was to shut down racing globally. MotoGP, Dakar, Supercross, Motocross, MXGP, GNCC, all that stuff. The people that were like coming in to save the day for KTM were telling them, you can't have this. And KTM fought back and said, if we don't have this, we don't have a way to sell motorcycles. So that's a really, really important point to just kind of keep in mind through all of this is like, wow, man, how much more of a dynamic do you need? KTM going through their financial issues as a whole, but damn, that bike looks really good when they keep winning championships and they have to keep paying out millions of dollars at this point. I got to think at least north of $4 million just in win bonuses from January to now.
Yeah.
Or just the North American guys. Probably closer to 6.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Sorry for the tirade there.
No, I love it. That's the info that we need because if we don't have that back info, how do you make an assessment, right? Because
and we're not even through outdoor yet.
That's what I mean. We're not through outdoor.
And
Tom Vialle's going to win.
And
not the championship. I'm not going to assume the championship.
Yeah, but Chase is going to win. Chase is going to win some races.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So like the way to calm a lot of like questioning on this down, like how could this go on if this is happening over here? And how does this budget get balanced against this budget that's so much in the red? Over the next few weeks, I really need to like have someone from KTM explain that and like that really, especially for North America, because that is another very sticky situation that always gets brought up. Anytime anybody wants to complain about KTM's money spent racing, they always point to the MotoGP thing. But that and Chase Sexton's program, although the same color, same sponsors, same this, same that, I have to assume are very, very, very different books that they're getting written out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But just another thing, just to like, as we watch over the next 2 weeks, like if you need something to kind of like pique your interest until the next gate drops, KTM has 2 weeks to figure out what they're going to do. The weekend of the first national is when they pretty much have to have a decision with their banks, what is going to happen. And this is a tremendous dynamic because there is also someone that
what's up?
That's what I'm like. That is one thing when you watch it, and we've said this on the podcast before. They have so many people that are supporting it. It's the KTM Junior Supercross Challenge, presented by Wells Fargo, powered by Ford.
Yeah.
They have great motorcycles. The stuff is someone is gonna make sure that brand does not go away. It just has to be played out to see who does it. But all of the things to make that go on from here and there. Like if you look up the potential, I can't say it's a lawsuit, but there's like some kind of legal filing but definitely a public protest by someone that Stefan Pierre has been on a lot of boards with that allegedly pledged, a lot of his shares of the company for a little bit of a loan and hasn't been able to repay that loan. And now this guy is coming in to say, well, I own KTM now. And what's that going to do to the people like BlackRock and the Citigroup that has been trying to find investors for KTM to come in when, hey man, we're almost at the finish line. We almost got it. It's looking pretty good. Bam, now you got this bomb dropped on you by someone you've been in business with, like legitimately on corporate boards all around Austria for automotive brands. That was your business partner. And now you guys are going head to head about the future of your company.
Yeah.
It is a tremendous time for KTM right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Whew. A lot of weight right there.
A lot of weight, and it seems like we're coming to a head in the next couple weeks.
Yes. Well, let's kind of move a little bit forward. Kind of same thing. But this segment's brought to you by Acerbis. You need some great plastics? Where do you go, Ty?
Go get them at Acerbis. They fit just like OEM plastics,
but better. And cooler colors. I really do like the gray.
And they don't fade as fast.
Yes, I need to do a bike in the gray.
Yes.
Eventually.
I've done a bike in the gray. Looks good.
Either way, Acerbis, go get the plastics. So let's talk about this. So we have Tom Vialle kind of in the weight right now because he has to move 450. So that's another moving piece. But we also have so much talk silly season about Chase Sexton.
Yes.
Right? Where is he going to go? And all of a sudden, it's been real weird that we haven't heard another thing about Chase Sexton.
Yeah, there
right?
was like
We're hearing
like a month of just
Chase he
Chase's
signed a
Cowie.
letter of intent. We heard from, I guess, Matt Perkeen or something said that he signed a letter of intent. And we're hearing just all these rumors about him going to Kawasaki.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, everything's at a standstill. So my guess is that just like other contracts, just like RJ's contract, where if you win a championship, there's maybe first right to refusal or a way that KTM can say, we want you next year. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So that means all this silly season talk might be put on hold until the end of SMX.
Yes. So you're basically saying that if Chase wins a championship this year, so he didn't win the Supercross championship, but he could possibly win the outdoor championship or the SMX championship, that could lock him in to be a KTM rider next year because he might have a clause or it might be dependent on a result that he could get in the future to lock it down.
100% a guess, right? But like, it would make sense to me since we have just everything's gone silent.
Yeah, there's nothing moving forward. There's nothing.
The only confirmation that we would get that that's not in there is, I would say it's almost a guarantee if Eli Tomac signs with KTM, then Chase Sexton's out.
Oh, 100%.
Wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah, because AP already signed an extension.
Yeah.
So they need another lead guy.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm saying if Tom Vialle does sign with KTM, he's going to be signing not for a lot.
No. I would say barely anything.
Well, I mean, we say barely anything, but I would assume 300,000, something like that. But that's just making up a number.
I mean, bro, but even like look at Mookie's career, though. He won the 250 East Coast Championship, and he had to go a private tier the following year on 450.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but about Malcolm's thing should forever be its own case of many, many, many different factors.
Yes.
Yeah, but
dude,
still.
Yeah, but you can,
dude,
though,
like,
in
Malcolm
a way.
You can in a way, but like Malcolm had Tom doesn't have an older brother and a family and a reputation and all those things that maybe locked a lot of doors that Malcolm had to go around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From back then. But the Tom thing, we talk about does Chase have a contract clause that says if you win this championship, you got to get re-signed? Because remember, that was the thing when Jorge was trying to win that title last year to sign with Cowie to come here this year. That was a big, big talking point. You got to wonder if Tom's got something like that, because he just won KTM their 4th title in 6 years, and he's been a part of their development program from a long time, and he's done 6 years. Does he not have something?
Yeah, he might have to be on 450. He might have to get a contract whether KTM likes it or not.
Yeah.
And Ian Harrison did an interview with Lewis Phillips last night. Like, Lewis did 2 great interviews. If you haven't heard of Seth one, that one's really good, because to hear the bikes in the background revving and Seth just matter-of-factly take you through the night and how the pass happened and how he was going to go back for RJ was a good one. But then to hear Ian's side, Ian really had said it. He's like, we're going to have to figure out what we do with Tom. Wasn't like, this boy's got a contract, we're going to go sign it in the office right now. None of that.
No, it was like, hey, we got to figure it out.
Yeah, like
we got to figure it out.
We got to figure out how to make room.
Yes.
Tom would be the first one of my memory that would not get rewarded the way that KTM has shown all of their guys that they would. Marvin got dialed in every time he won a championship. There was another one. As long as you want to be here, we'll keep it going. Ken was the same way, winning titles over in Europe, send him to the United States because that's what he wants to do. Cairoli, Jeffrey, all those kids that are in Europe doing the same thing, like, they've taken care of their own. This would be the first time if they let Tom go that they would not, but I really don't see them not.
And how much do we
I don't see them letting
blame?
him go.
How much do we blame, the rules of the AMA on like not being eligible to keep riding the 250 class. Because like realistically, I've always thought this. Like if you want to stay in the 250 class for your entire career, I think you should be able to. You know, it's and the reason, hear me out on this. This is the reason. There's only 20 spots in each main event, right? And if you want more guys in this sport for eternity that are stars, but you're going to make all the other guys move up, right? Yeah. So all of a sudden, these guys get treated full factory in 250. Then they move up and they get treated like the low man on the totem pole. Then you go out in 450 and you have a shitty bike, and then you do shitty because you're against guys that are better than you in the 450 class because you're just a rookie. Yep. And then you're on a shitty bike, shitty program that you're trying to figure out and you can't get it done. That's a real quick way to lose confidence and end a career.
Yes.
Right?
We've seen it.
We've seen it happen multiple times. And when you're able to get paid $500,000 for a 250 win championship and a $500,000 salary, that is a full-time living that you are taking away from athletes, forcing them to move to the 450 class. And because you separate the 250s, you now have 20 on the East, 20 on the West, and 40 in the outdoor season, right? So think about how many more spots are available because of leaving those guys in the 250 class, you know? And how much more money is available and how many more careers and riders that can make a living riding a dirt bike. You know, this isn't like an NFL team where there's a shit ton of teams and then there's a shit ton of spots and then a shit ton of backup guys that get spots second string as well.
And still get paid a good living.
Yes. No. It's one guy gets a spot. There's no real backup guys. We just started to get test guys that get paid. And they're not even close to paid enough.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're forcing 250 guys to move up to 450 and taking those salaries away. I mean, I really, really hope not. But this could ruin Tom Vialle's career if it doesn't go the right direction.
Yes.
100%. You could take a 2-time MXGP champion, a 2-time Supercross champion, and you could force him into something that he's not ready for because of a rule. And
or
now
just bad timing.
Or just bad timing.
Because there's no rides available. Yes. Everybody's shuffling around.
Exactly. Because there's just better guys. And now you've ruined a guy's career that has dedicated his entire life to doing this.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to open 250 spots.
Or open up 450 spots. Because there's no one saying that you need 3 450 guys or 2 450 guys on every
and then
team.
you're not. Then you have a 450 guy that just doesn't make the main event.
Well, it'd be nice.
But does that become a reality,
factory across the board? Like, how sick would it be if it was that deep where the guy that's not even making the main event now is making a couple $100,000?
Yeah.
I mean, the talent level's there.
Yeah.
We've seen it before.
Yeah. Yep. What were you saying, Anton?
Adam, when you and I were on the phone this morning, we were discussing this. You know, last night Tom was very open, like, I'm ready to get on the 450. He is not one backing down from trying to get on the 450, and that could be him just saying the right things. But he even said last night, like, I did 6 years. I'm done. I've done my time. I'm ready. So good for him to want to go up. But what I had said to you, because I agree with you that I think that Supercross, it's so unique and all this stuff on and on. But there are just guys that don't have the build to ride a 450. And Tom is a small guy. Do you immediately go throw that kid into that class and expect him to ride the 450? Because, like, look at the year that Alex Martin had trying to come to terms with the 450 and just not being a 450 guy because he had been a 250 guy for his entire career.
Is Tom Vialle like Martin size?
Dude, Tom Vialle's
he's not big.
Little. Like, dude, and this is what me and Anton were talking about. I was at the podium, like down at the podium. Dude, I was standing from here to my camera 5 feet away from Chase Sexton. And then about 20 feet away was Tom Vialle. I looked at Chase Sexton. I'm looking at a fucking man, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is muscle and he's fucking built. Okay.
Yes.
Like a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not that tall. He's just a man.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
he's
stocky.
filled out. He's a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking over at Tom Vialle and he's looking like a little kid. Like a two. And I've seen little guys ride 450s really well.
Yes.
But the way guys ride 450s now and the age that you're getting good on a 450 is like, look at Jet Lawrence. Dude is ripped. He is a big guy. He's like filling out. He's like a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Tom Vialle, and this is totally my opinion, he needs to pack on 20 to 25 pounds of muscle to be ready to fight Chase Sexton at that level. Like if you want to fight Chase Sexton for a year,
Mm-hmm.
a Supercross season, maybe 1 or 2 races outdoor on a 450, I could see Tom Vialle getting it done. But if you want a whole year of battling, he needs to pack on 20 to 22 pounds of muscle to get on that level, to have the longevity and the strength to battle with those top guys for the season. Do you disagree?
I mean, yes, I agree about he needs to get stronger because the technique and some mistakes I've seen where he lets the bike kind of go and let the bike rock him in the whoops in the 250 class.
Yeah.
Like you cannot do that at the top speed of 450.
No.
Or, you cannot.
You can't do that.
Or have that bike launch like and let that bike go. You can't have those mistakes in the 450 class because that thing will just eat you alive.
Yeah. And he's going to do that whether he's strong or not.
Yes, exactly. And he will, he is a world-class rider. He's going
without a doubt.
And he's going to be good on a 450, no doubt. But we're talking about him, figuring out that first year or the, first or second year and being a top 5 guy. And I just don't see it from Tom Vialle right now.
Yeah. And
I don't know, it was just weird. I couldn't even believe that he won the championship because he rode good, but he wasn't, the fastest guy
or
weekend.
the fittest.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Seth Hammaker looked like he was strong compared to Tom Vialle.
Yeah,
towards the end especially. And we don't know if he got hurt either.
You guys are forgetting that he gave up any points at Foxborough. This could be 10, 15 points winning this thing. And Tom was the most consistent. And even to Seth's credit, I almost stepped in Seth's puke by the PC truck at Detroit. That's where Seth's season got fucked. Was he was sick at the first round and couldn't do anything, and he had to fight back from then.
Mm-hmm.
And props to Seth on everything he did, but he started from from on the back foot there. Yeah, and then RJ dealing with the wrist issues that he had dealt with all year and some bad races and all that stuff. Tom did very, very well and was in the contention the whole time. Yes, had his slump through that part after the Foxborough thing, crashed at Philly, rode like shit, all of that stuff. But at one point had a commanding lead to get that thing done. Do you look at that as a striker, as a striker or strength? Because you gave up 22 points, dude, because you fucking melted down in the mud.
Yeah, but here, I'm going to move forward on you, Michael, because, right or wrong, Tom Vialle won 2 Supercross championships, and that takes a lot of fucking skill and a lot of determination. And being there and showing up week in, week out. You know how to ride a dirt bike at that point. Hands down, no questions asked.
And you know how to win a championship.
But I'm just saying, as a whole, for Tom Vialle, I feel like we're all looking at Tom Vialle the same. The industry, the fans, everybody we're kind of feeling like Tom Vialle's a little bit on the weaker side of the next guy coming up. We're not putting him as a phenomenal guy. The best thing he can do right now is train his ass off and be determined to prove a point in this outdoor season and go battle Deegan in the outdoor season, prove to the whole industry that he has a dog in him and he knows how to grind it out.
Yes.
what he needs to do is go take a look at what Justin Cooper's been doing for the last 3.5 years, because nobody thought Jay Coop was going to do a damn thing on a 450. Nobody.
Well,
Yeah,
I kind of figured that he would. I honestly figured that it would give him a couple years and he would figure it out. Just the way Justin Cooper rode the bike, I didn't know he was going to be this good at Supercross, but I would have thought that he would have been a little bit better at outdoor than Supercross on the 450.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
so
I don't know. This is the comparison. This segment's brought to you by California Coast Plumbing. If you need any plumbing, go down to Anaheim and hit them up. Commercial plumbing. But the comparison that I want to make, that just to put in perspective for you guys, think about how good Cooper Webb was on a 250 and how much that guy that was so dominant and literally made everybody his bitch on a 250 moved up to the 450 and how much he struggled the first years.
Well, the Yamaha 450 that he was racing, it was a pile.
Yes,
there was a pile. That bike sucked.
The KTM isn't the best bike either. It's better outdoor, but it ain't the best bike for Supercross as a 450.
Bro, I mean, Chase 1 is winning on that. That Yamaha, James Stewart couldn't even win on that thing.
Okay, I agree. I'm just saying, think about that comparison. Cooper Webb was on a crappy bike, but he was still the best guy on 250 by far.
Bro, that's what I'm saying is, like, that's where you have to change the outlook on yourself right now. You have the opportunity, like, everybody's looking at you, but that you need to go make a statement in outdoor and prove yourself. Like, if Tom Vialle literally goes in outdoor and he gets like 5th, 6th, 4th in these first 3 rounds, bro, I mean, it's going to be tough to sell yourself on a 450 ride, even if you did just win 2 championships.
Yeah, I mean, he has, so, like you said, yeah.
It's going to be tough.
I agree a lot with you, Ty. I agree a lot with you, because the best thing that he could do is go out, perform really, really well, fight for the title, maybe win it if you can, whatever that is. But if you know you got to go, prove your worth, end your 250 class career on a high note. But then all of the people that are around you and whoever you sign with, have everyone understand that it is a slow burn to get to the place that he needs to get to. Hey, we need a 2-year commitment. We need to really be happy 2 years from now. That first year, don't expect me to be racing for wins. Nobody's saying Tom's going to race for a 450 Supercross main event win next year. You know, I'm
saying Tom, if everything goes perfect, is 4 years out from a Supercross win in 450.
Yeah.
4 good years too. Not even like if he gets hurt 1 year, bro, it's going to be tough.
Bro. Yeah, but you say 4 years nicely, bro. Imagine Jet Lawrence in 4 years.
And Deegan
in 4 years.
That's what
Chase
like,
Sexton in
4 years is like a perfect scenario for Tom to win a main event. Bro, and we're talking 1. We're not even in the championship fight. We're just saying pull out like a Mookie win.
Bro, that's saying Jet Lawrence is 25, 26 years old and just prime time.
Bro. Maybe top 5 in 4 years, dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the competition.
Jeez, when you think about it like that, bro, dude.
If you, the competition he's lining up in the next couple years is phenomenal.
We just got the best Cooper Webb we've ever seen at 29. How old is Chase right now? He's like 25, right?
I think he's like 23, 24.
That's what I mean. So that means you're going to see the best Chase Sexton you've ever had.
In the next 5 years.
You're going to see the most prime Jet you've ever seen. You're going to see Hunter coming up with his brother. You're going to see
Jorge Prado getting into it.
Deegan, Jorge Prado getting into his prime. I mean, the depth of what the top 5 will be is going to be so elite. It's just going to be even hard to fathom.
And that's where it's hard for the industry to wrap around where it's like Vialle has to have a major fucking dog on the leash right now to step up in the class and be competitive. Because if he has any doubt in his mind, he's going to get eaten up.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Anton, do you have anything else? Like, I don't, like, the more I talk about it, the more I hope Tom Vialle doesn't listen to this show at all.
No, I'm good. I think we've gotten this one in. It's just going to be interesting to see where he goes from here, because the last thing that I told you, on the phone today, and it goes back to the interest of the KTM situation.
Yeah.
He could be the perfect candidate for a 350,
Yeah.
and they got,
If they
got
wanna
engines on the
promo
shelf
that.
over there.
Yeah.
Yep. And like KTM in a great time, everything firing on all cylinders, that might be a project that they really want to do, but is that something that they want to do right now?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I do want to give a big shout out to the fans. Thank you guys so much. We sold completely out of Track Talkers hats. What?
So we only have 3 left.
Yeah, we have these 3 right here.
Yeah.
Which was like our backup. We sold out in a week.
Hell yeah.
Of Track Talkers hats. You guys are unreal. We got them all shipped out.
I didn't even get one.
I know.
I gotta get on that next drop.
Well, I got you. I'll save one to the side. Actually, I'll give you this one right here. We put all the Track Talkers stickers in there. We are going to do another run. We'll keep you guys updated for sure. I mean, that was unbelievable that you guys bought all those hats that quick.
Yeah.
Truly unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. I will be on top of it, getting some more hats made, so it'll be sick. Ken Roxon had surgery Friday. Supposedly somewhere around 8-week recovery. But it is going to be tough. He talked about it on his Instagram.
For his ankle, shoulder, what are we talking about?
His ankle. So what they did was, if you look on Ken Roxon's Instagram, they supposedly tied his tib and fib together because it got separated, and then they put an extra patch on the tendon. So they extra patched it. So he should be back.
What about his shoulder?
2 to 3 months. Shoulder's supposedly just going to heal itself. It was just a AC separation or something like that.
Okay.
Next update, Cole Davies, broken nose, broken collarbone, had surgery yesterday. So
on his collarbone or his nose.
Yes. I love Cole Davies, bro. Did you see his picture in the hospital holding the Rookie of the Year trophy up with a broken nose and broken collarbone?
Yes.
What an absolute legend.
Dude, that whole scenario was so effed.
Like, okay, let's just talk a little bit about the crash. I don't want to get into it too much. That's nobody's fault, right? I mean, honestly, it's really Davies' fault. If you want to break it down, you can't go triple onto a tabletop because you didn't get over the tabletop like you wanted, and then come
be
to a
right
stop.
in the middle of the track.
Like, that's how my career ended.
Yes.
Like, a rider came onto a tabletop, cased it, knew his lap was done, came to a complete stop, and I was expecting him to keep going, and I had already jumped the jump and landed into the back of him and, did all the vagal nerve damage and all that stuff. And that was like my career.
Yeah, it's no joke.
And,
you have to be aware at all times when you're on a Supercross track on Saturday.
And unfortunately, he learned a lesson the really, really hard way.
Yes.
There's obviously better and worse ways to learn that lesson, but it definitely seemed like he felt like he was the only guy on the track, which is a testament to his confidence.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? That's a testament to his confidence. He thinks he owns the damn place. He's like, I'm number 1 on the board, bro. What are you doing running into me, dog? Get out of my way. This is my track, which is how you want him to feel, but you have to be aware.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Jordan Smith got the short end of the stick. The Alpenstar chest protector went off before Jordan landed. So I don't know if we're making progress on that or that's what it was supposed to do, but like, that's unreal, bro. Shout out Alpenstar for that one.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Right?
Yeah.
Really cool. If you slow down, I think it was on Jordan Smith's story, like the overhead cam. If you slow it down right before impact, it blows up.
That's pretty insane.
I'm liking that.
I like that a lot.
I'm liking that a lot for the future of the sport, for everything. Let's get into the last segment of the show. It has definitely been a long one, but I think rightfully so for the Supercross finale. X brand, does the zebra keep his stripes?
Well, let's start off with you, because I'm kind of wondering. Well, I'll start it off here because I don't know. I like always looking ahead.
Okay.
And just to start the hype off.
Dude, that's what we do. We hype shit up because
Bro.
it deserves it.
I love the Tomac Instagram's silentness and then just throws up a fucking video of him just wide open in his Colorado ranch. Like, the boy doesn't post for weeks on end, but then posts on like bro, just post on Saturday of just him wide open as track in Colorado.
I didn't even get to see it.
Dude, it was just a typical Eli Tomac outdoor
outside, no bumps, just pinned. Like, how is he so good at outdoor when his tracks? I've never even seen a bump on his track.
Bro, remember when we talked to Rhino and he's like, he went to, Ryan Hughes used to train Eli Tomac, if nobody knew, but he went to Eli Tomac's house and was training him. He's like, bro, we need to roughen up the track, get these ruts. He's like, well, dude, it's been working me for, 8+ years. So what do you guys say about that? He's like, I guess nothing. Like, so like you can't argue with the guy. He's probably he already won 2 outdoor championships and he runs on a prepped bitchin' track in Colorado that he gets to just pin around.
How funny is that, bro? It's like, it goes back to that thing where me and you talk about it. You either kind of got it or you don't. Dude.
It's all about the mental attitude on what you bring to the race and if you get freaked out or not.
If you really want it and you have the talent and the skill, then you're going to do it. If you don't, unfortunately, the reality of the situation is you're just not going to be that guy.
The reality of the situation is if you know how to ride a dirt bike, you know how to ride a dirt bike in all conditions.
Boom. Eli Tomac, wide open around dozer.
So
burns.
I'm always, my zebra, I'm hoping that Eli Tomac keeps his zebra stripes and just comes out swinging the first round of Paula.
I mean, I think we answered that question with the Rhino story, right?
I know, but the big question mark in my eyes is just how good is Jet going to be?
I think that Jet is going to be fucking phenomenal. I think he's going to go out and he's going to top 3 and he's going to be like, yeah, mate, my knee was jacked up. I wasn't even riding at all. And I just came out here straight from the Met Gala from New York.
I thought that was pretty sick.
Oh, super sick. Straight just at the Met Gala pimping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if we
with
had
all the famous superstars.
Yeah, it'd be sick if we had a couple people that went there.
Yeah, just model Jet.
Yeah.
Looking like a real pimp.
Big pimping.
Big pimping. Looking like a model. Nobody know the difference. Supercross star, model, don't know. Can't tell.
Yep.
Okay. Goes to Met Gala. Comes back. Podiums Paula. Yeah. I'm riding like 3 months early off of ACL injury. I'm going to take it easy for the first 5 rounds, and then I'm going to wick it up. Tell me that's not what's going to happen.
I mean, it definitely will. Dude, this outdoor season is going to be one to watch. I think it's going to be one of those seasons where it's like, if you're off the podium and you lose 5 or 6 points, it's going to be really hard to get those points back for the championship leader.
Yeah, even with the 2-moto 2-point format.
Yes. I really do.
You're just going to you're not going to be able to miss.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going to be too good on the line.
Yeah. I think there's going to be like,
they can stay healthy.
Everybody can stay up and stay healthy.
And the first 2 guys that are going to not be healthy, unfortunately, you want to take the words out of my mouth?
Who?
Chase and Coop. Those are probably going to be the first 2 guys that
Dude,
get
I
hurt.
think Chase is ready to go.
I think Chase is ready to go too. I do. But it's like,
Cooper Webb ain't lining up for dude.
How harsh is it?
I think, bro.
We're going to find out. Time will tell. I can't wait to come on the show and be like, you were wrong.
I can't wait to be like, yeah, bro. Cooper Webb said, fuck outdoor.
I really do think though that those guys are obviously tired, and I think Chase Sexton is ready to be on with the momentum and prove a point. But dude, these seasons take a toll on your body.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying they don't.
Look at Eli Tomac. He didn't even crash, and all the years that he's raced Supercross, he blew his Achilles out.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a toll.
Yep.
I mean, I'm tired, and I just did media for Supercross.
Yeah, so we'll see.
This is what I want to bring up.
Mm.
I want to bring in Anton on this. So I don't know if it's a zebra keep his stripes, but it's just a situation that I really hope doesn't get out of control for Juju is that in the press conference, Deegan literally sat next to Juju, right, for the podium, and was like, somebody asked him about the beef between them this year and if it was fun. Was that you, Anton?
No.
Oh, I think it was Jace from Gypsy, right? And somebody like that, whatever. And Deegan proceeded to say, yeah, I was just seeing if I could break him. And yeah, I was just talking smack and I broke him. I clearly broke him. And he got a bunch of clout from it. I mean, look at his Instagram now and his following. So yeah, I helped him out on that. And but I got the championship. So, and Juju just sat there. You know what I mean? Like, do you like? I felt like if a dude was sitting next to me, I would pep up and talk shit to him right there on the spot,
bro.
Right?
Yes.
Like right there on the spot. I would have got a penalty and been like, "Fuck you, pussy."
Hey,
dog.
Too small,
right?
dog. Too small.
That's what I'm saying. Like Deegan could have been like, "He's too small," right there, and he would have just not said anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think that's KTM saying that's how you deal with Deegan? Because it
could be. It 100% could be.
Because I feel like, dude, like Davey Millsaps and Juju, you know, are like, bro, I should do it. Because,
dude, and you got to think too, and Anton, I want you to chime in on this, but you got to think, dude, Juju was saying like, yeah, dude, I used to drink and fucking party and, dude, you know Juju has fucked some fools up if he was drinking and just partying and shit. Right? Like he's had to have gotten in a fight or something, dude.
I mean, you would think.
Where did you guys hear that?
What?
Because I would love to hear that story. Like wherever he said
was
that, I wanna
on
hear that
Gypsy
interview
Tales.
back.
It was on Gypsy
Okay.
Tales. He literally, bro,
I
he said he used to just drink and party and not give a shit. And he was just good. Yeah. And then he did All-Stars and won. And then he got serious with Davey.
Yeah, he said, you know, if you really want to do something, you can put your mind to it.
I love the balls to say that at like 19. Just like, oh yeah, dog, just crushing him at like Havasu. Just catch me and have a brew.
That's
like,
what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part because like another thing from Lewis's Ian Harrison interview, Ian was like, yeah, you know, he's so docile. Like, we don't expect this of him. And to see Julian, like, really put up a fight, and then even all this, like, Haiden stuff, like, he's so low-key, we don't see that. I was like, huh, okay. Like, I don't know what to expect of the kid either. Yeah, Ian said the same thing. He's like, yeah, he's a very docile kid. Like, it seems like it takes a lot to get him riled up, and maybe nothing's gotten him really riled up yet.
I guess me and him are different.
Yeah, we're definitely. I would say that.
I mean, because I'm a shit talker. So if Deegan's,
you think?
Yeah, if Deegan's gonna talk smack to me, I'm saying something. Especially if he's right next to me saying what he said. If you guys haven't seen the press conference 250, you have to watch that specific moment. My jaw was on the ground.
You should have spoke up for Juju, my dude.
I mean, dude, I love Juju, but I'm also Team Deegan. You've known this from the beginning. Right?
I really like Juju.
I like Juju too. I think he's a great rider. I think he got over his slump that he learned in his rookie year. I think he started out phenomenal. I think he had some problems that he's going to learn from in his entire career, and he really stepped it up towards the end. And I think he showed phenomenal speed, which honestly, to me, right now, Deegan, Juju, and Seth Hammaker are really the three guys that are superstars in that 250 class that I think can really have a 450 career. That's going to be unbelievable.
Do you think Juju's healthy enough to put a full season outdoor together?
I think he's on his way to being that. Right now, no, but I think he's getting healthier and healthier as long as he doesn't ding himself up.
I know, but this is so tough because Deegan seems like he's on all cylinders and he's going to be coming out just ready to click some off.
Don't be surprised if he goes perfect for the first like 3 or 4 rounds.
I mean, that goes.
Oh, we talked about that.
That
Ty,
goes back
the
to my
way
season.
he rode at Salt Lake, what you said, him having a perfect season, it's not that far out.
No.
Especially with that bike.
Bro. I'd be so stoked to see him go perfect on the 250F.
I think no, that's not true. I was going to say I think everybody would, but there's a lot of people that would not like to see that. Talk about controversial kid. All right. Is there anything else, boys, or is that it for the show?
I think that's it. You guys, I think we hit it all like always.
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for shouting out Track Talkers. I had so many people come up to me in Salt Lake and shout out Track Talkers. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you guys for selling out of the hats. We're going to get some more hats. We got plenty of sticker kits that we're going to send out with those hats. You guys are awesome. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandpa, tell your bros, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. This is the season finale of Supercross, and you tuned in here with Track Talkers. Peace.